Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Are you up for a tank? December ideal for Isaac Cruz rematch. It will be 3 years ago in December when Isaac Cruz stepped in with little more than a month's notice to accept the biggest fight of his life against now 3-division champion Gervonta Davis, and then took him the distance in a Rocky-esque storyline. Should the new World Boxing Association junior welterweight title holder defeat his challenger Jose Valenzuela on Saturday night at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, the stars may be aligning for a December anniversary rematch with the WBA lightweight belt holder Davis. Early this month, Baltimore's Davis learned negotiations with his fellow 3-division champion. The IBF lightweight titleist had come to little with saying he need to rest. On Tuesday, the sole manager for the 3-division and WBC lightweight title holder Shakur Stevenson told that Davis' representatives have not been responsive to negotiating a deal for a unification bout. Stevenson has verbally agreed to pursue a fight against consensus #1 lightweight contender William Zepeda of Mexico. Pittsburgh's open for December. Cruz's advisor Sean Gibbons said that the fighters ground a rival on the Santa Monica Pier, so why not do it again? He is up for it any day of the year. Are you up for it one day? We have no problem here. Cruz's popularity has surged since the first fight, which Davis won by scores of 113, 113, 115, 113, and 116, 112, after entering the bout on the heels of knockout victories over Cuba's Yuriorkis Gamboa, 4-Division 1 champion Leo Santa Cruz, and reigning WBC welterweight title holder Mario Barrios. Since then, Cruz has recorded 3 stoppages in his past 4 fights, including his rousing finish in March of the then 140-pound title holder Rolly Romero in Las Vegas. Cruz earned the loudest ovation of the night in the sole main event, which supported the junior middleweight title fight between the newly unified champion Sebastian Fundora and Australia Tim Tszyu. A similar greeting is expected Saturday night against Mexican countryman Valenzuela in the sole main under the 154-pound title fight between title holder Israel Madrimov and 3-Division 1 champion Terence Crawford. Cruz's popularity was obvious at the grand rivals, as he remained among the crowd following interviews with reporters and signed autographs and mingled with his supporters, having a full camp to prepare for Davis for what would certainly be an all-action bout is appetizing to consider, but Cruz said he is locked in on the task ahead of him. "I'm focused on the fight now. I have a lot of respect for Valenzuela," Cruz said. He had such great success by delivering an onslaught of punches on Romero. Will he repeat that strategy against Valenzuela? "I'm looking to give the people a great performance. That's the only thing I'm thinking about," Cruz said. As for his thoughts on Stevenson moving toward Zepeda and Davis needing an opponent, Cruz said, "I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just focused on Rayo and being excited about Saturday. I had a great camp. I'm ready for any kind of fight, and should he win it, the opportunity to run it back against Davis is rich." This is fake. Shakur Stevenson denies a stunning rumor about Gervonta Davis' fight. Shakur Stevenson has shut down claims that a fight between him and Gervonta Davis is already set for November 23rd. The American lightweight rivals are being heavily linked with a unification clash later this year after Gervonta's planned next bout fell through. Davis, who holds the WBA lightweight world title, was initially hoping to make a long-awaited unification with IBF champ. However, he has opted not to fight for the remainder of this year. Therefore, WBC lightweight world champion Shakur Stevenson has now entered the frame to face Davis next. This week it has been claimed that a fight between the pair is a done deal and set for November 23rd. However, this is not the case. Stevenson took to social media to respond to these rumors, tweeting, This is fake. Davis shortly beforehand tweeted a picture of a cap, also suggesting that the news was not true. The fight may materialize with talks believed to be quietly ongoing. As things stand tough, it's clear no deal is done. It's understood talk between long-time promoter rivals Bob Arum's Top Rank and Al Heyman's PBC, who represent Davis, were going well. Shakur Stevenson was last in action early this month, earning a unanimous decision victory over Artem Arutunian to retain his WBC lightweight title. That bout was the last on his current contract with Top Rank, meaning the 27-year-old was able to explore other options and potentially signing to fight opponents locked in to deals with other promoters and broadcasters. The one fight that boxing fans were clamoring for was a showdown with Gervonta Davis, who competes under the PBC banner, most recently when he stopped Frank Martin in the 7th round to retain his WBA lightweight title in Las Vegas last month. A bout between the two undefeated Americans would be one of the biggest fights in the sport, but it seems boxing fans will have to wait even longer to see the potential showdown, after it was reported by Boxing Sense that Shakur Stevenson has verbally agreed to take on William Zepeda. They state that despite the best efforts of Stevenson and his team, a bout with Gervonta has been unable to materialize, meaning they have now turned their attention to a showdown with Zepeda. Zepeda is 31-0 with 27 of those wins coming by knockout and has picked up stoppage victories over Giovanni Cabrera and Maxi Hages so far in 2024. While there isn't an official date or venue yet, it is believed that the most likely location could be on the undercard of the undisputed light heavyweight title fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, which takes place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on October 12th. The Riyadh season cards have now also expanded to around the world, beginning with Saturday's Terence Crawford vs Israel Madrimov event in Los Angeles, before Joshua takes on Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium in London on September 21st. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Shakur Stevenson has faced harder challenges than Gervonta Davis, elaborated Clarissa Shields. Perhaps 30 strength wins with 28 knockouts are not enough. Perhaps Gervonta Davis needs to pull off something truly extraordinary. Only then might Clarissa Shields change her views about him. Otherwise, the newly crowned heavyweight champion feels that the Baltimore is a notch below his New Jersey-born colleague Shakur Stevenson. Increasing reports suggest that talks for the lightweight title unification between the two champions could be in the offing. Unsurprisingly, talks are already swirling over who will emerge as the winner if a fight eventually materializes. Both Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis recently secured wins. The Olympic silver medalist emerged successful from his first title defense against Artem Arutunian early this month. Gervonta, on the other hand, defeated Frank Martin to retain his lightweight championship. It's time to talk about title unification and greater glory. The GOAT owed to the defensive genius of Shakur Stevenson. Clarissa Shields was speaking with Saiga Talk. He shared her thoughts on Ryan Garcia and the whole scandal surrounding him. Then she also gave her 2 cents on women's sports. After the half-hour mark, the host asked her about the criticism that Shakur needs to work on his knockout skills. Shields disagreed with the notion. In her view, there is no need for Shakur Stevenson to prove himself to anyone, especially those who have never been inside the ring. The two-time Olympic gold medalist revealed that she had watched Shakur Stevenson take on the boxers, not only from his weight class, but a few from other divisions right up to light heavyweight. Shakur is the best, she said, insisting. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.